Hello, Internet. Oh god, this is a squeaky chair. So I'm here in the library trying to find a place to film this video, and the only study room that's open is in the basement. The problem is, this is one of the only study rooms that has a completely glass wall, and so anyone who walks by can see me talking to myself on my computer. Sacrifices must be made. Anyway, I have been the most productive person this weekend. I have literally done nothing but read, sleep, and eat pizza. But I was able to read 2 books over the course of the weekend. The first of these books is Murder on the Leviathan by Boris Akunin. This book is actually the 3rd book in a series, the Erast van Doren series. Someone just walked by. Erast is the continuous character in all the books, and although maybe not like the main character, he's a very pivotal character in all of them. I read the first 2 books last year for a 20th century Russian lit course. Those books would be The Winter Queen or Azazel, depending on the version you get, and the second one's The Turkish Gambit. So if this review holds any interest for you, I would definitely recommend starting out with The Winter Queen, because it explains a lot about the development of Erast, and it's a super, super good book. Akunin tries to write each of the books in the series as a different approach to detective fiction. So The Winter Queen was more a conspiracy novel, and I loved that one. It was super good. The Turkish Gambit was more of a spy novel, and though I enjoyed it, it wasn't nearly as much as The Winter Queen, so I was a little nervous about this one. But Murder on the Leviathan was completely different because it was kind of an Agatha Christie-esque novel, and it was so good. I'm actually going to try and keep this review pretty spoiler-free because the books aren't really connected, so you can still read the first one and not ruin anything. So here's the quickie summary of Murder on the Leviathan. The scene is set in Paris in 1878. That's where the crime takes place. There's a British nobleman living in Paris, Lord Littleby, and he and 10 servants are found dead in his mansion. Lord Littleby has gained some renown for being a collector of Eastern treasures, and there has been only 2 things stolen from his collection: a golden statue of Shiva and a shawl that the murderer wrapped it in. But then a few days later, the golden statue is found in the river. The police are baffled, but they have one lead. That is a little golden whale on a charm. The golden whale is a commemoration pin for all the first-class passengers who are on the debut launch of the Leviathan. The Leviathan is this luxury ship. It's pretty much the biggest ship that has ever left port at this time in the book. French Police Commissioner Gouche pretends to be a first-class passenger and basically rounds up all the passengers that he finds suspicious, notably those who don't have a little pin, and tries to figure out who the murderer is. And one of those passengers just happens to be our notable Erast van Doren. End of quickie summary. First of all, I love this book. It was super compelling, it was an easy read, it took me less than a day to finish. I love Erast. I think he's a great character, and he's changed so much from the first book to this book. But considering the circumstances of how the first book ends, which I won't give away, it's a reasonable change that someone might experience. The plot had a lot of twists and turns, and it was told from the perspective of multiple narrators, so all of these people who are suspects. So there are a lot of red herrings, a lot of plot twists, but they were all explained really well and wrapped up really well. It wasn't like they were just there for no reason. The book had a really fantastic and eclectic group of characters, and they were all pretty intensely dislikable in their own ways. But they also all had these redeeming qualities, and you saw them more when they were doing their own little narrations. It's really not the best writing ever. It's not like world-class literature. It's more really fun. The books are pretty predictable if you're familiar at all with detective fiction. Akunin is pretty good at throwing you off the trail, like leading you on the trail of the right suspect and then making it seem like it's impossible for them to be the one who did it. So you can guess what's going to happen, but he leaves enough kind of twists in for them still to be entertaining and you don't get bored and know what's going to happen for sure. Overall, I'd say this book is super, super good. I definitely recommend reading it, and I recommend reading the whole series. They're very fun. Anyone who enjoys mystery novels or adventure novels would really enjoy this. They're quick reads, they're fun reads, they're awesome. So that's my review of Murder on the Leviathan. I was also able to finish Catching Fire this weekend, so my review for that will probably be up soon too. Hope you enjoyed it. You guys are awesome. Keep it real, Internet. Peace. They keep talking about how handsome he is, but I really don't think this guy is all that handsome. Look, he's got a funny mustache. It's like Russian Sherlock Holmes! Boris Akunin is actually a pen name. I can't pronounce his last name. Look at how many consonants are in it.